We're working from home now, so bear with me here.
Okay. I'm seeing that. I'm not. Can you explain to me what's going on with Haley?
So she's currently in our custody from the last court hearing. Shelly requested her removal. So we had to assume custody again, and that's why we had that shelter care hearing. So she's going to remain at her current location until we have court April 20th. So on April 20th, we have a review hearing, and it's a review hearing, and it's a transitional plan hearing because she's turning 18 on the 23rd. We're transitioning her to become an adult. So it'll be like a regular review hearing, like normal, and then we'll have a piece of what her plan is when she turns 18.
Okay, where is she now?
So the judge restricted her address because there's the current PFA between you and Haley. So I can't give that information out.
What judge was that?
It was let me look it up real quick. It should be Silvis, but let me double check just to make sure I have the right information. So it was Judge Jim Silvis.
Okay, when was that signed? When did he say that?
We assumed custody on the 12th, and that was when we got a verbal order from him. So he verbally said it that day, and the court order was signed that day.
By Jim Silvis, denying father knowing where the child is, right?
Yes.
Because what I'm stating is that I was seen in violation of the PFA.
That is what mother has reported. But the address was restricted only because there's a PFA, not because it was violated, because we don't know if that did or didn't happen. It goes Shelly saying that she saw you, but I'm sure you'd say you weren't there. We don't have proof that you were or weren't there. But Jim Silvis, wherever Shelly's saying she saw you, I think close to her location of her house, I'm not sure.
And as
the reason Jim signed that the reason Jim Silvis approved for the address to be restricted was because there is a PFA, not because it was violated.
Okay. Can I make something on the record for you that PFA, okay, was never hand delivered to me by the sheriff.
Okay.
So that is such a violation of someone's rights.
I would definitely, if you can, take that up with. I don't know what's really working or going on at the courthouse right now because, like I said, we're all working from home. But you should have been hand delivered that. And absolutely. I don't work with the PFA office, so I don't know their protocol. I don't know their attempts or anything. But I would definitely, when everything's up and running again, you really need to look into that because you need a copy of that.
Right. Not only that, the hearing was told to me, got on the phone at 1 o'clock. I go there. I was told by Patricia Elliott that it was 8:15 in the morning.
Oh, jeez.
So I was told, you lost. That's it. And then I haven't seen my daughter since then. You think about it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, because we can't offer visits, obviously. You know that with the PFA. So you're absolutely right.
Prior to that, when she was at the New Outlook Academy, apparently... Oh, here's what I want to know. What is going on with this worker that's giving her alcohol? I hear it through somebody from CYS and doing inappropriate things, giving her alcohol that she said. Is this man being charged with... I was charged with a crime.
Yes.
Is he being charged with a crime?
It's not a CYS worker. He was contracted. He worked for Outside In. It's a drug and alcohol facility.
Contracted by CYS, right?
Yeah, contracted by us.
Well, there you go.
And he was provided, from what Haley reports, and it is being criminally investigated. There's pending criminal charges. So you'll have to keep up with the charges and make sure that it's followed through with. But currently the charges are pending. The DA said that they would prefer to wait till after she was 18, just so they don't have to go through Shelly's approval or anything like that to interview Haley and stuff like that. So they're waiting.
Who's the DA?
Oh, let me see if I have her name. I can't remember it off the top of my head. It was a woman. Let me see if I can find out.
Thank you.
I don't have it on me, Nick, and only just because I'm working from home, I don't have everything on me. I don't remember off the top of my head. It was I introduced Haley and the DA, and we did a little bit of an interview. I just don't remember her name off the top of my head. Let me see. I'm gonna try find it really quickly because I know I may have emailed her.
Thank you.
Okay, I did find it. Her name is Kelly Hammers.
Kelly Hammers.
Yes, Hammers.
Okay. And can I ask you a question? The last couple hearings that I saw it was a Barbara Jolie that was the judge, hearing officer.
Yes.
What happened to Monique Mears?
She moved to a different hearing. So she's a hearing officer. She's actually a few offices down. I don't know if she's essentially got promoted or moved up. I don't know the chain of commands in the courthouse over there. But she took a different position, and then Barb Jolly moved into Monique's position. So Monique's still there. She's just seeing different cases.
Now, was Barb Jolly by chance an assistant district attorney?
She was, yes.
Just recently?
I think she went, to be honest, I think she may have went from being the district attorney to assistant to right into the hearing officer, but I don't remember exactly. But she was. I do know that.
Huh. Wouldn't you think? I believe that she is the one that, on the paperwork given to me by Officer Ketron about that crazy story about handing a note to Christine Meadows that handed to me, and Haley was drinking and under the deck, and the cop visited her a month later, and just nuttiness. It said that ADA Jolie signed off on the charges. So here you have a district attorney signing off on to charge me with a crime that I believe now is that same person residing over these hearings.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
would you say that's
absolutely a possibility? Absolutely.
Now, isn't that crazy? Like, how can that be justified? How can that be not a conflict of interest? How can that be?
So it can be. I don't want to say that it is. It definitely would be a possibility. I would advise you, and I will look into it myself, because my next thing would be, I'd advise you to talk to your attorney, but I know that you no longer have an attorney. You could always, because you don't have an attorney, you could request that a hearing be moved in front of a judge. I don't know if you've remembered, usually at every hearing, whoever the hearing officer is, at the beginning of the hearing, they say, would you like at the hearing to be in front of a judge? You can say that. If you feel, and that could be your reasoning. You could say, previously I believed you signed off on the charges, and I feel it's a conflict of interest.
Okay. I also,
and like I said, I would definitely advise you to talk, even if you just talk to a attorney. I don't know if you just want to call around, but that's what I would advise you to do, is talk to an attorney. But you all absolutely have that right, regardless if you have an attorney or
not. Okay, because I'm rereading this paperwork, and I'm seeing a lot of the stuff that this Brittany Miller said. That's lie after lie after lie.
Yeah, she was the first caseworker, right? That you
Yeah,
guys had?
yeah. Well, yeah, actually, there was a John Sarah involved prior to
Right,
that.
an assessment, yes, yes.
I remember he would be lurking around. Then there was Brittany, who first interaction with Haley was what I was told was crying with Shelly, hugging. It was an anniversary of her mother's dying in front of Sheets in a car accident. So she was all emotional when she showed up to the house in the morning and telling Haley how she should be lucky she has a mother.
Yeah, Haley's told me that. Yeah.
And I called Brittany and I told her I thought that was irresponsible.
Yeah.
And I think since then that the hammer came down hard on me by everybody. I really believe that. The judges, the cops, uh, the courts. It has not only trickled down on me, it's trickled down to my friends whose lives have been destroyed by rumors. Really, it's and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it because enough is enough.
I absolutely understand. And I mean, honestly, I know it doesn't help, but I know that Haley does, I believe, want to see you. And she almost is 18, and hopefully you guys can put this in the past, and move forward once she does turn 18. If she doesn't choose, to be in our custody and things like that after 18.
Well, thank you, Janae. I truly think that this is the first time of my interactions with the Children's Bureau that I've heard any type of compassion in anyone's voice or any kindness or any.
I'm just doing my job, Nick, and I'm glad you emailed me. That was really good. I'm glad I got your new number because I still had your old number. I never got your new number, so I'll make sure I save your new number. This is my cell phone that I called you on, so you can always call during working hours if you need anything, or email, now that you did that. And as of right now, the court hearing's still on for the 20th, but with all this coronavirus going on, it may be participated by phone. So when I know more, I'll let you guys know. We're going day by day at this point.
Okay. Wait, I did have one other question for you.
Oh, hey, Nick.
That's fine. Take your
I'm
time.
sorry,
Good.
you're on the phone. I didn't realize.
Oh,
you were
go
on the
ahead.
phone.
Go ahead. My friend Christine is.
Yeah,
with you.
hi. I just walked in the room. I'm Christine. I'm being charged too. One of the conspirators with Haley Shapley, which I never had any rights to up there where she's from. So I don't even know why I'm being charged. But the officer said on stand I probably was visiting her. I never got any rights to see that girl. She was always supervised by Nate. So how did she get a note past Nate to give to me?
Yeah, I'm not sure because I wasn't there, and I wasn't even the CYS worker doing the investigation.
And I didn't have I don't even have any rights to this child, but I'm being charged because of Shelly Shapley.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not able to help with that because I didn't do the investigation.
I know. It's a messed up story because you're associated with somebody, you're associated by guilt, or you know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden I'm being charged because of association. And that's so messed up. But I'm glad you took care of Haley. Been worried about her. I can't wait till she does turn 18. Hopefully she will want to see me because I would never destroy that girl's life. I love her. So I hope she's doing well.
Yep, she'll be 18 before you know it. She's doing pretty well.
Well, that's good.
And then here's my question. My big question is, like, my other 3 children, okay?
Yeah.
That my heart breaks every day for not seeing them or being a part of their lives. I can't even stress to you the pain that a man would feel after having everything for 15 years and then having nothing. I mean, my house was taken by the sheriff of Westmoreland County. My child was taken by the court of Westmoreland County. I lost my valid workers' compensation case by the court of Westmoreland County. I was taken to jail on the day of my workers' comp hearing by the Westmoreland County. I mean, I can go on and on and on about what has happened, what has been done to me by the courts. It's so overwhelming that there's so many police charges and incidents I requested my records. They can't even send them to me.
Who did you request records from?
The Right to Know, North Huntington Police,
Oh, okay.
like all record. So they did say there was 42 incidences. That's just in North Huntington. I can only imagine what's in Greensburg. So, like, you know, somebody has it out for me. There's no other way to look at it. Like, and I'm not
And
trying.
sometimes, and I'm just only going off of what our office does. When you want to see records at our office, you have to actually go there. So I don't know if that's something you can offer, you know, North Huntington or, you know, Greensburg. Maybe ask, you know, can I go there to see the records? And I'm only saying that from my personal knowledge of our agency. If you want to see our records, you have to come to our office.
Right, and
So
I
I don't know if you try that, and I don't know if that even would work, Nick. I'm just giving you my personal opinion of how my office works, you know.
thank you. And I do recall, well, when I got a phone call out of the blue from this Brett Fulham telling me that he's my attorney, appointed to me, and I'm okay. And I truly, just from the tone of his voice and the way he acted, it appeared shady to me. There's no other way to put it. He appeared to be a shady character that I simply did not trust.
Yeah.
And when I did go to your office with him and you, I recall, like, the files that you brought into that office were so many. It was so overwhelming. Okay,
It is. It's nothing that can be done in like a half hour. That's for sure.
Now, is my case, would you say, more so than the average? Because, like, it took, like, you know, there was a lot of files, man.
Every case is different. We don't have an average, or we don't have, you know, this is what a standard case should look like, or should we don't. Every case is different because it just depends, you know, on every case, every family, everything. Everything's always different.
Okay, I understand. But here's the main thing that I kind of want you to know, and I want the world to know here, is this. When I looked at the records, what I did see that caused me to double over in actual pain was the initial family finding. Okay? Now, my understanding is when you place a girl in a shelter, that's the last resort. I mean, that's like the death
Absolutely.
sentence. So the court and CYS should exhaust every effort to find a family member to take in that child. Well, what Mother and Brittany have on their form for family finding, I saw, was two names. One being Joseph Zavarro, the other being Tara Conklin. Why that's significant is Shelley hasn't seen Joe Zavarro in 15 years. My understanding is he's an airline pilot that she was living with when she met me, that she left him for to marry me, who was a bartender. So this man's out of the picture, so there was no chance of him ever taking Haley in as a viable option. I believe Shelley knew that, and Brittany knew that. Also, the other name was Tara Conklin, who is a niece of hers, of her brother, who she hasn't talked to in years, who there was absolutely no viable option for her to have taken in Haley as well. Okay, I was never asked to provide any names. I tried to get my mother, elegant woman, was denied to take in her own granddaughter. Haley was then taken to a shelter. Okay, there were letters sent by CYS to random addresses in the North Braddock Housing Association. How humiliating that was for my family and my mom and my brother to get knocked on the doors about Haley in a group home and asking to help. They don't even know her, know us. I think that was done maliciously. I think that was done purposely to A, embarrass us, and B, to simply go through the motions to have no one take her because they were dead set on putting her in a shelter. So much so.
What I can just fill you in on that, and I didn't have the case back then, so I can't speak for who got those letters in that area.
Okay.
But so when I take a child into custody, and I'm just saying in general, we have paralegals that put names. They'll put the father's name, which would be yours, and then they put Shelley's name into like this computer system, and it populates people that could or could not be related or to mother or father. And that's typically those letters that are sent to people. Sometimes people get the letters and they have no clue who we're talking about.
Okay, no, that's
Sometimes
what
they
happened.
get the letters that so I can't speak. I can't say that I don't know who those letters were sent to because again, I didn't have the case. But that's typically what happens. Sometimes people get them and they know the child, and sometimes they're like, "Who the heck is this?" You know. So that's just what I know happens typically on my cases and what I've had, history with. I just can't speak specifically to Haley's case because I didn't have the case back then.
Okay.
Does that make sense at all to you?
I mean, I hear what you're saying, Danae, and Haley. What I've heard. Okay, really likes you a lot. Thinks the world of you. You're nice.
I really try.
So that's nice for me to hear.
And I mean, you can call anytime, Nick. You're entitled to know how she's doing and to know, how. I wish I could tell you where she's at. Unfortunately, I can't because of that court order, but I can tell you how she's doing and things like that. So you don't ever have to hesitate to call, email, whatever works for you.
Okay.
I talked to her last week and she's doing pretty good.
That's good.
And I plan to see her in a couple weeks. So
good. Because I mean, I adore, love, admire that girl so much.
I know you do. I can definitely. It doesn't matter what has happened. You can't deny a love for a child.
You can't. And I hope. Well, no, actually, I don't. I don't want to say I don't care because my image is important to me now. That the world or anybody will see that how that bond between me and Haley was and is. I don't know what else to say. Okay.
If anybody destroyed it, it was Shelly. And I hate to say it, Shelly, I don't know what her intention was. She never liked me. She never met me, but I was the home wrecking whore. I didn't meet Nick until when she already cheated on Nick. You know what I'm saying? But I was their home wrecking whore. But poor Nick's name's been tarnished, ruined, whatever it was. False allegations. My name's been tarnished. It's like, now every time I go out in my car, they think I'm a drug dealer, so they pull me over and search in my car because why? Shelly, my poor children, my poor this. Ever since then, my name is targeted every day, some way, somehow, because they think I'm a drug user or drug dealer. My past is my past. And Danae, I could honestly say I've been clean 15 years and out of that game of crack and heroin. 15 years.
That's really, really good.
How many times were you approached by the police to be either a informant or to sell them crack or
with
cocaine?
With this going on with Haley, I've been approached like 4 times, you might as well say, since it's been going on with Haley, since I've been accused of kidnapping, giving her alcohol, me being linked to my past, or they were just looking at me at all ends of the world, you know what I'm saying? So it's not good for me, but I don't do none of that. I've been investigated, closed out through CYS. I take care of my children. I would never put my 2 in harm's way, nor Nick's children, you know what I'm saying? I don't even have rights to them. To say I have rights to them, I never even got to see her. Not one time when she was in the shelter or when she's up in Baldwin. When she was in Baldwin, I took Nick up there to see her. I went into that place twice because I had to use the restroom with my autistic kid. But Haley didn't know I was, like, how would Haley know? Haley wouldn't know, we would know I was coming in because everything was always monitored, supervised by Nate. So if anybody should be charged, if Haley got a letter through Nate to give, and then she sat on stand and said she passed the letter before. Well, I have that little letter that she gave Nick. I wonder if they remember it. That's evidence. So you're going to say that, you passed this little note to your dad without, Nate knew you passed it, but it's such a little note. How did he even see it? So how did, you know what I'm saying? So anything. So she passed notes before, but how did she know I was going to be there? So anything could have went by. So I don't get that. Why am I being charged to a child that I never even got to see or have rights to?
Thank you for hearing us out tonight.
Yeah. No.
Christine Meadows is a woman with multiple sclerosis. Okay, she has 8 lesions on her brain. She has 2 special needs children. And she is such a dedicated mother. She always has been from the day that I met her, who is really struggling against overwhelming odds, but yet does her, I mean, it's an inspiration to watch her, how she has to deal with the school about Lamar. Lamar is a handful. The school is really just harassed her to no end. The principal, the superintendent, the letter she's gotten. The number of times that CYS has been here investigating her has been countless. I mean, it's almost like here they are again. So my point being is, Christine is an innocent bias. She never deserved to be linked to any type of this mess. And my heart breaks for her in that regard. And I feel responsible in a lot of ways for her. And
You can't blame Shelly's actions.
yeah, and Shelly, I feel for her. I truly do.
I do
I was
too.
married for 15 years, 4 beautiful children I don't know what's going on now, but I do know that I don't want to, even though she's trying to not only put me in jail, under the jail,
Could I say something,
but
Danae?
I don't mean to disparage her. Is what
Listen,
I'm saying.
PFAs, it's crazy. You want to talk about domestic violence? For my son's going to be 7. I was in domestic violence, black eyes, police reports, been denied PFAs because, yeah, they had marks or stuff, or even just the verbal abuse that he put me through. I've been denied. Black eyes. I mean, the cops been to my house. Denied. Because they're there for a while. He wasn't hitting me, but the verbal and the mental abuse was so bad but I didn't lie saying he threatened to kill me or he threatened something to me. I was being honest. He just say horrible things to me. But that wasn't enough for me to get a PFA. I had black eyes. Dude almost strangled me, choked me out. I got away from him. Been away from him for 2 years. 2 years, and here's Shelly at PFA. This man right here sitting, never, ever even thought about laying a hand on me. Never. I have no reason to flinch, feel threatened, or anything. And here's Shelly's like, oh my God, I'm feared. No, Nick is a very humble guy. He has his moments, but overall, Nick is he's like a gentle guy, gentle giant, but you're not a giant, but you're gentle. Very humble. And it's sad because Shelly made him be like, oh my God, he's abusive, what he does to... No, he tries to help me with my children. There is not one abusive bone in the body. And for Shelly to have PFA and to keep him from his other 3, it should be against the law. There should be rights. There should be allegation after allegation against Nick. And everybody's believing her because she's telling these stories. Oh my God, this poor woman. No, I was the poor woman, couldn't get any help whatsoever. I got laughed at by the cops. You know what I'm saying? They laughed at me.
Christine has a very good, if you put yourself in her shoes, Danae, and I'm scared of an altercation between her and Shelly. I mean, that frightens me, man. Because I think there's 2 women who truly believe in their, causes, and it mimics each other so much, and it's scary. Actually, it's a shame. There's nothing. It's heartbreaking. It's tragic, and I just want to heal our family, man. I do.
I would stand up my cause. I would speak for domestic violence. These women out there, some women use the system just to get men out of the house to do evil things, and that's sad because there's women out there dying from real domestic violence, the real stuff that goes on, and people just don't see it because it's overlooked. Because the woman put on that face. Yeah, no, Shelly never had a mark on her body. If anybody was, Nick should have went to get the PFAs. You never told anybody that she used to hit you, no, did you?
I did not, no.
No, and Haley probably witnessed her hitting you and all that.
She
so
did.
that has never been brought.
Obviously, Nick
And that's
has
sad.
some possibility you could do too,
And that's what's sad.
But here was the boat I was in, I think, from the start today, is that, the very beginning of this mess when Haley was taken by Judge Driscoll, and it's I tried to speak up. Okay, well, I believe I was viewed as a retaliator, you know what I mean? He said, she said, and so if Shelly would do something, then I would do something else. And there was no way for me to win. So I didn't do anything. I didn't have a lawyer. I I just been pummeled, actually, because I was hoping that somebody would see the record and say it for what it is, when it's obvious. I think it's even so much more clear today because of on March 10th, Shelly wanted to put Haley back into the system. For what? That should say volumes right there as to what has gone on under really your nose, the court's nose, the guardian ad litem's nose, and the one who suffered this has been Haley. And my other three, that their father was just taken out of their lives with the aid and assistance of the Westmoreland County judicial system.
Like, Nick, you can always, because your youngest is still so young, I hate for you never to see them again, but, it's always you still have your rights, you absolutely can seek an attorney and seek legal advice, so that's something that I encourage you to maybe at least think about.
Is there a PFA on the other three children for Nick Shapley? Would you
Say
know?
that again, I'm sorry?
Is there any PFAs? There's one on Haley. Like, I can't even have contact with her, but I don't have a PFA. But I don't have anything.
So, the only reason, PFA records, I believe that they're public. I'm not exactly sure. You have to physically go to the place in the courthouse to get it. And the only reason we have the one for Haley is because she was in our custody and is in our custody.
Then you never got anything
really
for the other
have
three.
access if there is another PFA.
Well, the one that was,
other
I
three.
tried, it's sealed. The judge sealed it the same day. Judge Silvis. So what was in there that was so diabolical to have the address restricted? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's scary to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm seeing that, I was seen in violation of the PFA. So I think I'm supposed to live in fear of a charge coming at me? For what?
So, if you're reading our court stuff and that you were in a violation, that was just me testifying. That's what I was told. There's no proof to that. And I even said that on the stand. It goes back to that's what Shelly said, and of course you're going to say, no, I didn't violate the PFA.
But it appeared. Oh shit.
Your phone went dead?
Yeah. I gotta call back.
My phone's over dead too. We're recording on video.
It's okay.
That's bad.
It's good. Leave it.
I know, but I'm on there like this naked.
Relax.
Sorry, I don't know what happened again.
That's okay. I'm so sorry. I had something. Wait. Oh, what was we saying today?
But I was going to say that the court paperwork that you received and it said you were in violation, I was just testifying that mother reported that you violated the PFA. I don't have that authority to say you violated the PFA unless I physically saw you, but I didn't.
But
I was only testifying to that's what I was reported. That's not why the address is restricted or anything. It's restricted because there was an original PFA anyways.
It says on March 12, 2020, the mother felt that she could not keep the other child safe, and on March 10th, 2020, the father was seen in violation of his PFA.
Yes,
The child is in a restricted kinship home location due to father's no contact order and PFA. But then the child is in school, a transition plan is being developed. Then it says, curiously, no behaviors or incidents occurred, but the mother decided that she couldn't keep the child. The mother feels that the child is better in agency custody. Based on those findings, it's ordered that Haley goes back to that happens. So, in other words, if you read that right,
Yes.
how would one decipher that?
Unfortunately, because Shelly requested her removal, it basically comes down to we have to take custody then.
Wow. Despite so, just because really Shelly says, oh, he violated the PFA, that's enough for the judge to say, okay, let's extend this more.
So the reason Haley was removed was because Shelly said I can't take her anymore. Like, I don't want her in my home. If say the PFA, say Shelly says it's violated, and she says, I'm willing to keep Haley, we would have let Haley stay there. The only reason we took custody of Haley was because Shelly said she felt the PFA was violated, and she didn't want Haley in her home anymore. So that's the reason we took Haley. Not because we have no say-so on the PFA. That's not our department. Whether it was or wasn't violated, as long as Shelly's willing to keep her, she can keep her. But Shelly wasn't willing to keep her.
Right. But what is all this about that it was done in order to keep the children safe? Safe from who? Safe from Haley? Safe from me?
Safe from you, because Shelly felt that Shelly said that she's seen you near or outside her home, and she didn't feel she could keep the other children safe if Haley was allowing you to come over.
Safe from what?
I'm not sure, Nick. I'm just literally repeating what I was talking about.
I know.
That's sickening.
There's no other way to slice it.
It's sickening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure. I can't answer that. I'm sorry.
Oh, God forbid. Shelly went so you'd get to the other ones. God forbid you go sex traffic him like you did Haley, like she said you did. Oh, God. So sickening.
Because it was from day one an impossible journey for me to see. It was set up for me to fail. The mother, it was always, she agrees to family counseling. No, she didn't. It's crazy how just ostracized I was from this whole process by everybody. Never had a chance. No one, she was not going to do anything to co-parent. It's as simple as that. And you know what I think it is, Danae? And here's my theory, kind of, is alienation of a child. Parental alienation is a thing. Well, not only did that go on, I think parental alienation was aided by the county, by the police. See, it seems like a lot of people participated in joining together to prevent Nick Shapley from being a father to his 4 children. There's really no other way to look at it.
Like I said, I encourage you to look, into some legal advice for the other 3 children. Unfortunately, my hands are tied with Haley.
I understand.
Because there's that PFA. The only thing I can tell you is she turns 18 less than a month.
Yeah, I know. April 23rd.
I hope that works in your advantage. If that's something that she wishes, because at 18, I believe that I don't know if the PFA goes away or if she can decide to drop it at that point, So, hopefully within the next month, you and Haley are on better terms in regards to that PFA. But, as far as the other 3 children, because we're not involved, as far as they're not in our custody, I really hope that you, look into some legal advice, because you still have your rights at the end of the day. You're still their father. You still have your rights.
But I'll do respect it. You say that, I love hearing that from somebody. Thank you. But the right, I believe I don't have any rights at all. 0.
Yep.
And I'm sorry that you feel that way. And I only speak from what I know, but I don't work in custody court either. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know what they would say to you. I don't know what they would give you, what they wouldn't give you. So I'm just, just encouraging you to look in that direction. I can't say, well, this is exactly what's going to happen, because it's not my job, to say that.
Right.
So, but hopefully, like I said, in the meantime, you can always call and ask for updates of Haley. I can give you that much, and I would definitely offer visits if I could, but there's that PFA that I cannot.
Right. And before that, it was a it was because when she was at New Outlook, I was restricted from, a whole month went by that I didn't speak to her, she didn't speak to me. I went there, I was thrown out.
I remember that's right when I was getting assigned the case. Anthony still had it at that point, but the investigation was going on, and I think that they decided to stop visits until the I think that's what happened.
No, they would go reinstate them.
At that point.
What happened there, Danae? I would love to know because I was told New Outlook Academy was the decision maker. Just prevent that I had to be supervised, no hugs, no handshakes, no nothing.
And it very well could have been their decision too. Agencies, when kids are at their agency, it's at their discretion too. You know, so it could have been that. I'm not exactly sure because, like I said, I wasn't assigned the case at that time.
Yeah, I mean, I went there. Time I called every day. They told Haley if I come again, the dude was going to choke me out. He said.
Hey,
Yeah.
Danae, I have a question. When you get child line and you get unfounded, and then you get child line again, unfounded and stuff. But at one point in time in my life, my son is now. This happened back, and he's 18 now, cause my daughter, cause her birthday, my son his birthday is 4901, and my daughter's is 4309. So his is a 2001. Okay.
Okay.
So that means he's 18 now. 19. How could I get off child line?
For the incidents regarding your.
That son, yeah. Because that was the only case that I was ever on that they found me guilty on was that. And now he's 18. And they said that I have to write in somewhere to be taken off the child line. But now I do have a letter ready to go out stating that my son's 18 now. I don't have contact. You know what I'm saying? I know where he's at, but I just don't bother with it. If he wants to talk to me, he knows where I'm at. I haven't had contact in since this happened in 2001. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm not exactly sure. I am not a caseworker that does the assessment part of it, the investigation. I don't indicate parents. I don't found, things. So I'm not sure if there's a time frame. My advice to you would be just to call into our office
Okay.
and ask that general question, and they would probably direct you to the right person.
Okay.
You could probably honestly just talk to any assessment supervisor or caseworker. They would probably know better than I would.
Because it sucks for me now. Because it sucks.
Sure
Like my
does.
kids. Now my kids are in school. Like I can't go in the night. Like I can't do certain things like PTAs. I can't go in for school functionings because of that fact of me being child line back in 2000 when that all incident took place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely call, and I'm sure they would give you the information of where that letter needs to be mailed to.
Yeah, like
and
I said,
whatnot.
all my other cases been unfound and closed, unfound and closed. But yeah, but of course, being child line, mandated reporters, that's the school, so they have to child line it. But when it's unfound through Ewans, then they get it that it was unfound and they close it out there. But since this one's been on the case since he's, like I said, he's 18 now. He's, so like I said, 4901. And this is, he's 19. So I should be able to come off that child line now because he's an adult.
Yeah, I definitely, like I said, I'd call and ask.
Okay, I'll do that one stuff. Now your office is not open. Everybody's working from home.
So, typically you can call the office and somebody should answer. They have essential employees that are there. All caseworkers are working from home. So they may call you, or you may call the office and you might have to call somebody else on their cell phone at home. But I'd start with the office, and our answering machine might have a direct information of who you need to call to.
Oh, okay, yeah, because
It
that's
might have got
important
set
to
up
me.
since we're all kind of working from home right now. Okay?
Yeah, because that's gonna work for me. My son, he's still in school. He's autistic, and if they have a school party, I would like to be a school mom to
Absolutely.
go in and volunteer, but I can't with that being on my being child line.
Yeah, I completely understand. Yeah, definitely call our office and hopefully someone can help you out.
All right, thank you, Danae, for me interrupting very ignorantly during this.
No,
time,
no,
but thank
Christine.
you.
I think I'm so glad to get this off. And another thing I think you should know, Danae, is this, and this is just a fact, is that when I first started being friendly with Christine, she was investigated by CYS for having a crack smoking boyfriend. Okay, then Haley runs away from McKeesport, what have you. They find her in this house across the street.
Just happened
Okay.
where I
Now,
live.
prior to that, though, I had called Patricia Elliott and inquired about why couldn't Christine be a viable option for Haley, so that she's not in a shelter or group home. Patricia Elliott, no way, she has a record, impossible. Discouraged that right then and there. And I remember thinking that's crazy. Then, right after that, she gets a knock on her door from an officer, Garrett McNamara, who tells her that he has her on all these drug buys and she's a drug kingpin and that she's looking at significant jail time and wants her to help him out to get some crack or heroin dealers off the street. Christine, being a mother of two, doesn't mess with that. It was intimidated, didn't know what to do, actually went through a charade of trying for the guy. It didn't turn out to be an arrest. Okay, so what happens is that Christine gets charges in the mail of a confidential informant selling her 15 of her Percocet pills to this guy. Blah, blah, all this, the Officer McNamara, Marcachi, this, that, and the other. So she's looking at 3 years in jail for that. I was told by a worker, I don't know, maybe he's not tell the name, that the police that were involved with Haley's finding, Detective Osinski from McKeesport and Detective Swank from Greensburg, they had a verbal interaction, a fight almost, from what I was told, that Nick Shapley and Christine Meadows need to be arrested. Osinski kept, why aren't they arrested yet? Well, I believe since that day, it has been a nonstop onslaught to have us arrested for something. We've been pulled over by time and time again. The police have been knocking on her door so many times that, I don't even know how many times to put it. So, point being is, since that day, Danae, or what have you about Haley, and it has been so unfortunate for you, Christine.
What sucked for me is up until the police knocked at my door, I've been out of trouble in 15 years. I haven't had any kind of problems. I get my license, I have a place, I have income. I would have been able to provide for Haley, regardless of what my past is. Why wouldn't they even looked at me? Why is it that, oh no, because of this? Now, I hear families that I see people, grandmothers older than me, that get out, even though they look like they're like 90, they could fall over, but they're out with their grandchildren and things like that.
Right.
Why is it when somebody with a past is incapable of taking care of somebody else's kid when they have 2 kids that she takes care of her own? So why are they frowned upon?
So there are certain guidelines, and I don't have, again, because I'm working from home, I don't have everything in front of me. So when we place a child with a potential family, friend of the family, the parents, whatnot, there are certain guidelines that they have to follow. And there are certain criminal records, whether it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, there's certain records that are not able to, and I don't have those on me, in front of me. But that could have been what Patricia was talking about. I really don't know.
She was blackballed.
I know
You
your
were just
background, and yeah.
Listen, because my past of 15 years, all the stuff that I had 15 years, they were all drug-related issues. Possession with the intent, and that was 95 to 2005 that I had my 31 drug convictions. I did have endangering the welfare of the child, which that's with my son Richie, he's 18 now. That happened all back.
And that could have been, so if you have, and I don't know if there's a year, a time frame. Again, I don't have that stuff in front of me. But child endangering charges, those sometimes you're not able to become a placement option
Yeah,
for the child because of those types of records.
But I did my time. I didn't do any, I don't know, I think it was like a misdemeanor 3. I did my time. That's why I'm waiting child line, because my son's 18. They shouldn't, yeah, they could have looked at it, but what was I really endangering the welfare of the child for?
You are a woman that overcame heroin
Yes.
and crack cocaine.
Yes.
Addictions that kill most people that destroy. Christine.
I have 19 years clean off of crack cocaine, and I have 15 years off of heroin.
That's amazing.
It is inspiring.
And you know what? I would tell anybody to this day, yes, I have my medical marijuana card. Yes, I do vape. My children know, which I'm trying to get them the card, but I just don't have the financial because my son's autistic. He definitely could use a different kind of change because medication, I hate medication. They make kids zombies. He don't want to eat. He don't want to do anything. But I give him his medication. But sometimes I talk to the people at the dispensary. There's children that are young, that actually need higher dosages of THC because of their health conditions or what their issues are. And that's crazy. Eventually I'm going to have my son, but I think there's stuff out there that children can do. It wouldn't make him an addict, but there's stuff out there that I think my autistic kid can use because he has high functioning, he has tics, he has outbursts. We'll be in a quiet place. He'll walk into a doctor's office and shout out, "Hey, Moogie! Hey, Moogie," like 3 times in a row. You know what I'm saying? That scares people.
Have you ever seen Lamar at any hearings?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever heard anything about him by chance?
No, I actually haven't.
Okay. He's an interesting little boy. He really is.
But he did.
He climbs on the judge's table. He did that a couple times.
Yes.
He interrupted the proceedings with his outburst. He was uncontrollable to the point where it had to be stopped.
Yes. It's like you tell him stuff, he's so smart in some areas, but the understanding of waiting, no, Lamar, not yet, Lamar. He doesn't get that. He wants it now. We be in the drive-through line from French fries. I ordered them, French fries are coming, but he's to the point to where I'm trying to get him distracted off of the fries are coming. You know, we try to sing, but he is just so gun-ho and there's fries. He has echolalia really bad. He repeats.
And there's a lady across the street from us. I've later found out that her and her husband, he's a minister. She speaks Spanish to her kids, okay, at the bus stop all the time. She was the same woman, okay, that was on the news about this Draveniak thing and saying this, that, and the other. And then also called the police on me that came to my door because I was looking at her.
Yeah, and you were going down the steps to the car and she got intimidated by you.
Yes. Also, I had another incident that the policeman said that I wanted Lamar to be hit by a car.
Yeah.
Or
encouraged him to play in the streets.
Yes. Now, this is further so I can tell you, I don't like when we talk to CYS, but here's what happened. Lamar has more instincts than any of those other kids on that street, okay? Lamar knows and did know how to get out of the way of a car.
That wasn't the issue.
What I did say, I wanted Lamar to play with the other children. To me, that is it. How that got spun into me wanting Lamar to be hit by a car is kind of consistent with all the other allegations and charges against me.
You know, the kids be out there riding their bikes up and down the street. You know how I see everywhere you go, you see kids riding the bikes. The parents somewhere around. The kids, all playing. He just wanted to do it. He might be running. Yeah, they be running, like they be riding their bike. He be running after them. They see seeds, and he'll just stop there in the middle of the road because he's seen they're on the bike. But he moves when they're a car. It ain't like, but he just wants to be just normal like the other little kids.
And she was nice
like,
to him
where is it normal that children play in the streets? I remember doing it when I was a kid, playing kickball in the mud and in the streets, and my parents were around watching.
Yeah, you move.
It's a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? You see kids ride their bikes up and down the middle of my road all the time. They move when they see a car. People work together. They have that watch party. Everybody, if your kid's outside and the parent ain't around, you should be watching somebody else's kid too. Because I wouldn't want nobody's kid to get hit. You know what I'm saying? That's how it should be. But she made it seem like it was not normal for kids to be playing in the middle of the street or riding their bikes.
Now, Lamar would look kind of strange because he would go out in his diaper.
Yeah.
Okay. Or maybe some we had to like Lamar is just autistic to the umpth degree, you know, and it's such a challenge for Christine. That's what I have been. Whatever, I don't know. I haven't done nothing. I have never assumed any type of father figure role for Lamar or anything like that. I would say he's just been, I've looked out for him.
Yeah.
The best I possibly could.
Yep.
and still do.
Yep, indeed.
Yes.
And if I needed
Well,
somebody
it
to
seems
watch
like
my...
You guys are trying the best you can.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick's my best friend, and we will be best friends. And I would never wreck anybody's home. And I knew he was married when me and Nick became friends. I knew Nick when I lived down on the street from where I moved up. I only moved from 1 block from where I lived. So when Haley was across the street, they think I moved for to be a setup. No, I lived on Concord. I moved up to Harrison because I didn't have to change bus stops. I didn't have to do anything but my address. It was easy for me. It was just a blessing that I got this place, and it was on the first floor. It wasn't, but I already knew I lived on Concord. So Haley knew I lived wherever, no matter what, on Concord. I guess I lived behind these Gerviniacs. I moved up, I lived in front of them. So regardless, I lived around the Gerviniacs for the last 7 years I've been down on Concord. Didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't like, oh, I moved for Haley to find me or something or whatever. Haley knew where I was on Concord.
Another key factor, real quick, is such a protective factor on my part for Christine. Here you have people that did time in jail, and I feared for Christine's safety from these people. I really have, you know. I'm not a fighter or want to engage in anything at all, but there has been threats against her. It's been because I think just the rumors have circulated about her.
But you know what though? I did investigating and to see where this officer McManier came from, and it's kind of quinky dink that he came out of the North Huntington Police Department area. So Shelly, you know, she's been dealing with them for the 42 incidents. So he was probably one of the police that went to Shelly's house along the way at one of the 42 incidents if he lived in that area, if he was on their force. So how do you know he didn't register that name from having an incident to now to knowing, you know what I'm saying, and related it and just have it out for me because Shelly did something.
Can you tell her real quick while
Could
we're
that
at
be-
it,
that
is
be-
what Detective Osinski come to you and said the night that what did that man do to you?
Oh, he told me if he was gonna give me money if I would tell him the truth, and I'm telling him the truth. But the whole time he was looking at me, he couldn't look at me in my face because I had a tank top on. He kept looking in my cleavage. He was such a pervert. But anyhow, yeah. So he's sitting on the arm of the chair. He's like, "Yeah, you tell me where he is, and I'll give you money." So he was gonna give me money, and I put my hand out. I told you the truth. Where's my money? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he was just. I was interrogated.
wanting to bribe her,
Yeah, to lie for him.
Yeah, in order to arrest me. That's how dead set he was.
So he couldn't do that. So then the tables were turned. I was the one that kidnapped her. I was interrogation for 4.5 hours.
Then I was snatched up by him, double handcuffed, thrown into a room, and brutalized by this guy. Beat up. I was. True.
And I'm outside trying to use people's phones.
Christine's outside, to stop this interrogation. She's worried that what was going on in that room was exactly what was going on. And I said I want an attorney. So she's out. She didn't have her phone apparently. To the bus stop, begging passerbys to let her borrow her phone so she can call that Adam Gorzelski, who I believe is the worst human being on the planet. He tanked Haley's case in the beginning. It was pre-done between him, Patricia Elliott, and CYS that Haley was going to the shelter and not her grandmother's. So I knew that from day one. You know what else happened? Adam Gorzelski. I asked for my file. You know what he did? Called the police on me. The police said that the staff, the girls, felt threatened by me. Yeah. He filed a false report against me.
How can she?
An
I
attorney.
gave her food and everything.
And
I gave her
and
snacks.
Did she
I
eat?
could prove that it was
Oh,
false.
no,
I
gave
could
her-
prove that
gave
there
her
was
some
no
snacks. I gave her her food.
No, she probably ate, got fat, and went
that
down.
you know what I mean? That there was no threats. What do you want? This is my little Aurora.
Say hi, well, that's Miss, what's her name? Miss Danae.
Miss Danae Burnsworth, who is Haley's caseworker.
From
She's been
CYS.
kind from CYS. Now the goal is to not have you in CYS's clutches in any way, shape, or form. Therefore, you stay off
You
drugs.
sound like Dr. Seuss.
I'm trying to help you to have a good and productive, positive life.
That's
Okay?
You like Dr. Seuss.
Okay. Seriously, you do
My
not
daughter's
want
gonna be
any.
11. Her
Yes.
birthday is on the 3rd. It's coming up
Wait,
here,
what's today?
and I can't do anything birthday party, can't invite no kids. Every year I have
My
one.
birthday's in
Last
3
year
days.
I get pizza Sienna, salads for the adults. We have games, we have dance off. I give out treat bags, cupcakes. But this be the first year.
Technically, my birthday's in 4 or 3 days.
Today, tomorrow's the first, so
1, 2, 3.
3 days. There you go. 3.5, because today's almost over.
And truly, you have
And
a lot
Easter
evolved.
Bunny, no Easter Bunny.
I see maturity in you. I see you growing up before my very eyes on occasion, growing into a young lady that does not give your mother a hard time, that listens to what she says, and makes it for an overall happy household. Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for
I understand.
talking
Thank
to
you for
us.
listening to us, Danae.
No problem at all. Thanks, guys.
All right, you have
No,
a good
thank
day.
you. You really
Bye-bye.
helped us.
You too.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. We didn't say anything discriminating. Take my phone off and go get dead.